Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel. My name is Terrell.
And my name is Brendan.
We are
BNT Reacts. And today we are checking out the biggest hoax in K-pop history. And this is by Midnight Theory.
I'm definitely interested to check this out. Listen, I don't know about y'all and I don't know about you, but these Midnight Theory videos be so interesting and intriguing to me.
Oh, yeah, no,
because they just give so much like backstory and history that you will never know just like as a daily like K-pop listener, like unless you like really take deep dives or something like that, you would just never know. And a lot of times, especially in the music industry, there is so much shady shit behind the scenes. And so like just uncovering all of that shady shit and kind of just learning about it, it's like wow, they go through these artists go through a lot. Like they really go through a lot behind the scenes. We're gonna check out this video. It's like a fairly long video, about 14 minutes, so not too long, but not too short. Bad. I'm not sure we're gonna have this uploaded either before we're on vacation or while we're on vacation.
Sometime in the next 2 weeks from recording.
It might be while we're on vacation. We don't know. We're either way, regardless, this is getting recorded a lot earlier before our vacation. So, but anyway, let's get right into this. Let's go, y'all. Midnight Theories with the news and the history. Midnight Theory shouldn't be K-pop home family.
The music industry warned it's threatening its last major source of revenue.
As lip syncing today is rife, the technology that transforms terrible
The
singers.
record company says it was in horror at the news, but the industry knew it all along, notes Entertainment Weekly. It was perfectly happy with the deception until the public found out. Its real horror was the industry's secret had been leaked.
Lip syncing is a genre of its own. This remark served as a catalyst for fueling the lip sync controversies that caused a considerable stir in the late 90s. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Midnight Theories, and if you're new here, welcome to Midnight Theories. These days, it seems that in order for you to make it as an idol in the K-pop industry, you must meet an unrealistic criteria. Not only are idols today expected to sing, rap, and dance flawlessly, but nowadays, they have the added requirements of acting, modeling, TV personalities, and upkeeping their appearance. And that's just the cusp of it. Long ago are the days when idols only had to be good at singing, but even then, it seemed as if it was too much to ask for. Today we dive deep into the abandoned corners of K-pop as we uncover the forgotten story of Girlfriend, a short-lived girl group who were forced to retreat into the shadows, and how their dark history benefited and increased the quality of live music stages and the future artists we have today. Lip syncing refers to singers matching their mouth movements to a pre-recorded song without singing directly. It is typically used under circumstances such as when the acoustics are poor, when the moment should emphasize dancing rather than vocals, and the added benefit of having artists take a break from straining their vocal cords by not overusing their voice. On the other hand, lip syncing can be considered bad in the case that a person uses another's voice without prior notice, or lip syncing on stage, playing it off as your own. There's a widespread misconception that lip syncing has been a staple of pop culture in South Korea since the Idol era, which began with HOT in 1996. Poor sound technology is probably to blame. One member of the co-ed group Rua said openly, "We were lip sync singers." In other words, from 1980s to the early 1990s, the public did not recognize the concept of lip syncing, even though dance singers often lip sync during their performances. These days, K-pop is heavily dance-oriented. This means it is difficult for idols to satisfy the audience both visually and auditively if the sound quality is a mess. This technique has been rather controversial over the years, as many debate if these type of groups or artists who use this method should be viewed as singers. Girlfriend's case was used as a prime example. Not to be confused with the 2006 duo Girlfriend and the 2015 girl group G-Friend. This 2000
I was thinking that. I was like,
Girlfriend
isn't
caused a
it girl
ripple
named
within the South
G-Friend?
Korean music industry during their brief idol career. But before we get into the story, let's
Okay,
take a
come
moment to
on.
look into the group. There was two meanings to the group name. The first was a message that stood for the girls becoming a team that gives a friendly and fun feeling like a girlfriend. The name was also uniquely stylized to represent the second meaning, an acronym that stood for Girls from New Dreams. Girlfriend was composed of 3 members: 19-year-old leader, Korean-American Sunny, who was in charge of rap, 18-year-old child actress Eunji, who did sub-vocals, and the youngest, 17-year-old main vocalist Kan. The trio were formed under your small run-of-the-mill entertainment companies known as Howdy Entertainment. To promote their girl group, Howdy released web episodes on their progress on the company's website before their debut. This was at a time when the music industry began to incorporate the internet as a marketing tool. This wasn't common at the time, as streaming videos required a significant investment such as expensive traffic costs for the server. Only big companies like SM Entertainment had the financial capacity to do so. In August of 2001, the trio dropped their self-titled studio album with the promotional song Tonight. Tonight was a fast-paced dance song that used Congo rhythms. The group gained much attention as rookies for their unique sound and cute appearance, so much so that they were invited to perform at several music shows. However, their activities did not last long. In the midst of gaining popularity, Girlfriend were scheduled to perform at NBC Music Camp, which is now known as Music Corps, but that name change is a whole other scandal in itself.
What the hell?
This would have been any other music stage for the group, except for the fact that Music Camp had recently reorganized its program. This caused a major obstacle for the group, as they had a secret that could tarnish their career. On the day of the music stage, Music Camp had recently changed its stance against lip-syncing. The news of the rule change caused a panic in Girlfriend. They took their manager aside right before they were about to perform and confided in him that they were not the ones who originally sang their debut song. Their manager, referred to as Mr. L, was baffled by their words as he had no prior knowledge of the manipulation and was only entrusted with their activities and promotions. After hearing this confession, he resigned on the spot in fear that this controversy might ruin his image.
Not resigning on
Days
this.
later, the news site Ilgan Sports released an article about a girl group performing with fake vocals on music shows. In the event that the lip-syncing case turned out to be true, it was expected that the broadcasting and music industry, which had been mass-producing lip-sync singers for years, would have a significant impact. In the music industry, there was already suspicion of idols who lacked singing abilities who were recording albums via proxy singers. Music programs ignored the rumors since they focused mostly on lip-syncing. In those days, dance groups often had choreography designing with the intention of lip-syncing on the air. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, decorative mics were used all the time as lip-syncing was the norm. A good example is the glass microphone that Fly to the Sky used during their song Day by Day, and Agent Khan's pinky microphone during her song Wa. In the article, they hinted at which group by releasing an initial and a mosaic photo of the three-member girl group. Netizens believe it was Tuya, Girlfriend's rival who experienced more popularity. The allegations came to light after a close credible source by the alias Mr. L contacted the media. In no time, the public would know the name Girlfriend, but for all the wrong reasons. The news of Girlfriend lip-syncing their debut song made headlines across the nation. It was revealed that only one of the members had actually participated in recording, while two others lip-synced the guide vocals. Regarding the controversy, Girlfriend's agency, Howdy Entertainment, acknowledged the matter. CEO Kim Won-suk confessed that they were allegedly defrauded by their record producer, Mr. Kang. Allegedly, the producer said that they could hit the jackpot if they brought in underground singers to record the album.
Not you throwing a
He proceeded
producer
to
under the
persuade
bus.
the CEO by listing examples of other big groups and said this is what everyone does. The CEO continued to state that the main vocalist, Khan, was the only member that had the chance to record her vocals, but the other two did express that they wanted to sing as much as they could before the producer fled. This did not mean the other members had no part in the album, as their ballad Start, a fan song, was the only track on the album that included all three members' voices. Their claims continue to be that producer Khan cut corners to expedite the payment process. Although the album was not finished, the girls were forced to perform the version with the guide vocals to stay on top of schedule, or else the company would lose money. Howdy Entertainment eventually filed a complaint with the local police station regarding Kang's fraud and embezzlement. In light of the controversy, the members went on KBS 2 News to take responsibility for the quote damage they caused for defrauding the public. Howdy were incapable of reading the room, as they announced that they would return with the second album. This time, they recorded it themselves as a way to achieve success the honest way. The intention was to promote the first album with the second title track, Mr. Boyfriend, prior to the incident. The group had even completed choreography for the song, as it was revealed in one of their web episodes. Mr. Boyfriend was a song that the company and the members felt remorse about due to the fact that they had to quit their Tonight activities prematurely. Unfortunately, the promise was unrealized as they disbanded the following month. Since Girlfriend was considered a controversial group, popular Korean portal sites such as Naver and Daum tried to wipe their existence from the internet by deleting their profiles, searches, and music. Currently, their album is unavailable on most, if not all, music sites.
Damn.
A copyright issue may be the result. In response to the incident, NBC Music Camp made headlines by implementing a policy requiring all singers participating in the show to perform live. They believe with the change, the number of lip-sync cases would dramatically decrease and improve the quality of the next generation of idols. Those in favor of the performances said, "It was nice to see the wonderful workmanship of the singers," while those who opposed it said, "I'm concerned about the health of the singers if we keep doing live performances."
What?
Music Camp prided itself on being, quote, 100% live, up until 2005 when the show was canceled for unrelated reasons. On May 13, 2011, the Liberty Forward Party introduced a bill to ban lip-syncing and hand-syncing. Similar to lip-syncing, hand-syncing is an act of mimicry in which the artist pretends to play an instrument.
What the fuck?
Senator Lee Mung-soo submitted a public performance act which proposed that
Oh,
artists
so
shall
they're
be allowed to
pretending-
lip-sync
oh.
or
Yeah, like I guess
dance
they have
in
a guitar,
commercial
but they're not really,
performances
like-
or broadcasts where the artists are given performance wages. In cases
Damn,
where
people do
lip-syncing
that?
and hand-syncing were unavoidable,
Oh my God.
it must be announced to the spectators
That's
beforehand
weird.
that such acts will be taking place during the performance. Breaking this law could result in at least a year of jail time or a fine of
Oh,
at least 10,000
a
USD
fine.
for negligence. Senator E stated, "In the past, viewers were able to watch a whole variety of different genres for performances, including ballad, dance, and trot. These days, it's only dancing idol groups who are given the main focus. Due to the concentration of this particular genre, singers are trained more in their appearance rather than their singing abilities. For example, even in our country, many people buy expensive tickets to watch artists singing or playing live, but artists who lip sync or hand sync make spectators lose trust and also obstruct the development of our music industry. We submit this bill as a way to solve these kinds of problems." The bill drew strong heated debates dividing views. As one netizen expressed, "It doesn't make sense that singers can take thousands of dollars just for lip syncing at an event," while another netizen voiced out, "There are times when singers need to perform intense choreography, and it's the idol's dances that are the core of the Hallyu wave, so trying to prohibit this by law doesn't make sense." Years later, in 2014, Music Corps, which was previously Music Camp, made another attempt to crack down on lip syncing, well, partially. Music Corps' chief producer Park Hyun-suk spoke with Moonhwa Ebo for an exclusive interview. "We will not allow people who are not equipped with the basics as a singer to perform on stage. Even if one's individual part is short, that's fine. The
Dang.
singers who perform on stage must sing." Out of the idol singers, there are times when 10 to 20% of them actually sing live. In many cases, they perform to record a live version, which deceives the public into believing they are actually singing. The decision was made reportedly so that K-pop could keep up with global standards. While focusing on creating powerful performances, the quality of singing is also important. If the public was supportive of the change to purify the music industry, NBC believed that other broadcast companies would follow suit. The lip sync ban could have given a more accurate picture of K-pop. Park pointed out many MR tracks have 80 to 90% of the songs sang for them. He recognized singing was hard while performing choreography, and that idols would not be expected to sing 100% live. The final goal was to have at least 50% of the songs performed live by the singers on the show. However, several artists were not happy with the new regulations and spoke up against the matter. Super Junior Ryuk responded to the ban through his Twitter. "To singers, the sound system is just as important as fancy stage production and lighting. Idol singers who are performance-focused and just open their mouths may be a problem, but the flat-out insist on live performances without room for improvement seems like tyranny." Despite several artists being vocal, the ban went forward. In a recent interview with Star News, Park Hyun-suk opened up about the effects of the ban on the show's singers, giving it a positive light. "It is nearing a decade since the Music Corps lip sync ban took in effect, but regular viewers can tell you that the ban was rarely enforced, or at least it hasn't been in recent years. These days, a majority of music show performances use pre-recorded tracks to give the impression of live singing. They purposely leave in breaths that give the listeners the impression of a live performance." If you would like to know in full detail about debunking the Music Corps ban, check out the Reddit post, K-pop myth busting, Music Corps banning lip syncing. I'll leave it linked in the description box. The user explains the situation in a clearer understanding than I can and provided great examples, so check it out. Girlfriend were humiliated and ostracized from the industry, which abruptly ended their careers. Sunny, the group's leader, returned to the US after the disbandment, leaving her dreams of becoming an idol. It is rumored that Eunji went back into acting after the disbandment, but I can't find any credible sources. Kan, on the other hand, resumed her career as a singer almost a decade later. She joined the trot group LPG, but her idol career was cut short once again after she announced she was getting married.
Oh, okay, well, good for her.
Yeah.
It is evident that the adults were the ones at fault, pretending to guarantee a future for the group, but ultimately, it was the singers who bore the burden of this case. This piece of history briefly changed how live performances were conducted, but in the end, the heated debate still continues over should these type of artists be viewed as singers. But what do you guys think? Has the lip sync ban changed your perception of K-pop? Did you ever notice any difference from before? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And with that being said, thank you for watching and enjoy your stay.
Thank you for watching. What did you think about this video?
I haven't been a fan of K-pop that long. But this video was good. I don't know, it made me think, I guess. I think it seemed very harsh to just be like, no lip syncing ever, but I definitely think that lip syncing to a voice that isn't yours, definitely I don't think is correct. But I can understand that at some like award shows or like concerts and stuff, like at least part of the track is gonna be like you can't always sing the whole like studio version live, you know? I don't know. But I can also see another side where it's like, well, if I'm paying to see if I'm paying to see you perform, I'd want it to be live. But also with the heavy choreography and everything, like it is difficult. Like you gotta have amazing breath support to be able to do all this choreography and still sing everything perfectly. So I don't know. It is a very interesting topic. I am not really a performer, so take my views with a grain of salt. I definitely just think that if you are lip syncing, at least make it your own voice, you know? Don't lip sync to someone else's voice. But if you can perform live, hey, more power to you. You got it.
Yeah, this situation is very weird because I feel like the girls aren't the ones to blame just because they were so young too, and they were just getting into the industry. And I know not only K-pop industry, but just the music industry in the U.S. here. It's so many people that will try to get over on you and will try to manipulate you and do things, especially if you don't know anything about the industry and you don't have anyone by your side that knows something about the industry. They will get over on you. There have been many countless stories of artists who have and big artists, major artists who were taken advantage of because they didn't have that right person by their side. They'd be like, hey, no, this is wrong. Don't do this, or don't listen to this person. And so a lot of times that's how, honestly, I hate to say it, but that's just how the industry goes. It fucking sucks though. Because a lot of times when things happen like this, the artists are the ones that are blamed. They are the face of the whole scandal. And so like their careers, they can't recover from that because something that their fucking company, that their fucking record company was like, hey, we want y'all to do this, and they were just following the order. They were doing their job. And so it just sucks that they really couldn't recover from that. But honestly, that's just the industry. This is a lesson from anyone who wants to go in that type of industry, just to be careful with the people you surround yourself with, and really read everything in terms of what you're signing and the things that you do, and really do your research. And if you can have that person with you who has knowledge and that you really, really, really trust, then have that person with you. I think you're lucky to do that. The whole topic of lip syncing is very I think there's a line to it. I think it depends on what type of performance, as well as what type of event you're at. Like I know a lot of shows back in the day, like a lot of variety shows back in the day in the US, you could not sing live. Like you had to like lip sync. It was like shows. It was a lot of like in the 70s and 80s, and like early 90s. There were a lot of like dance shows and music shows to like promote people music. This was like for the internet and all that. And so those shows you could not sing live because that was the first time the world was hearing your song. So you had to lip sync the studio version because that's just the first time people were hearing your song. And so you could not sing live. And I'm sure there are probably still shows that are like that. But I think it's a fine line. I think it depends on as well as the performance. Like, if you were just sitting there with a microphone and you ain't really doing no choreography, then I think you should sing live. That's my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you, I mean, there have been many instances like the girl on SNL, I can't think of her name. She got caught lip syncing. This was back in the early 2000s. She was caught lip syncing and she wasn't doing nothing but just singing live. Like she would just stand in front of the microphone.
Oh, I remember that.
For her not to sing, I think it's like Ashley Simpson. I think it was Ashley Simpson. I think that's her name. I can't remember. But for people like Britney Spears. Now Britney Spears, I don't give a fuck if Britney Spears lip sync because Britney Spears, that bitch be performing. That bitch got a whole snake around her motherfucking neck. Fuck that lip sync. Somebody like, I don't know if Madonna lip syncs, but either way, Madonna, even like performer, like people, I think it's all different too on how you classify these artists, because you got people who are performers, then you got people who are vocalists. Like it's so many varieties to it that you just can't. I don't think removing lip sync altogether would be a good idea. And fun fact, people don't be realizing that now. These artists are real slick with lip syncing now. People like, oh, they not lip syncing because look, they breathing right here. They be adding the breath in the lip sync tracks. They be adding and a lot of times what artists do is they sing some of it live and then some of it is pre-recorded. So they'll sing like a certain part live and then like a really like say for instance they were singing like this this is a regular line live and then they got a belt. They'll have the belt pre-recorded, but you heard them singing the other parts live, so you think that's live too. It's not. The industry is very slick. Like, it's very slick on how it moves. But that's no shade to any artist who does do that. I mean, hey, listen. Do what you gotta do. But for me, if you just standing there in front of the microphone, you ain't really performing like that, I think you should sing live. But if you don't, hey, whatever. Anyway, that's all for this reaction. If you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you also hit that subscribe button and go ahead and comment down below for more reaction requests and give me more videos like this to anything and we gonna react to it, y'all.
And make sure to follow us on all of our social medias, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Follow both of our separate channels and make sure to check out our Discord. Yeah.
Listen, if you ain't gonna be singing live, like I said, give us a performance. Like, come on, you gotta have us entertained some way else. Because if your vocals ain't giving it, then and your performance ain't giving it, I'm just.
And if you are lip syncing, make sure it's your voice. Please don't lip sync.
There have been a lot of, I mean, even with that situation is controversial because there have been a lot of incidents in Hollywood as far as the fucking 40s and the 50s where fucking many movies had people dub saying, like fucking My Fair Lady, they had a woman dub Audrey Hepburn's voice. That is not Audrey Hepburn singing. Audrey Hepburn actually recorded the songs herself, but then they secretly dubbed someone else's voice and then released it. There have been many situations like that, so it's not something that's new, at least to the Hollywood industry. And even like the Milli Vanilli situation, even that is not new, but I don't think it's right. But still, it's just anyway. Listen, that's all for this reaction. This video is getting too long, and we're out. Bye.
Bye.